and welcome back to week two, a lovely Friday afternoon. We've got one game this afternoon, Synergy versus Leopard. We do have the sets of Plague on the Family Residence, Blight on the Gas Haven, followed by Oni on Dead Sands for the tiebreaker if we do make it all the way there. I am joined by a lovely soul, Stasi. How are you tonight, my friend?
You're very excited to cast these games that we have tonight. So we do have, as you said, Plague. Sorry, I should get the sets up on my screen. Luckily, I've actually got the tipping. So Plague, Blight, and Oni. Now, what's very interesting about these sets is that most of the tipping is actually dedicated towards Leopard, although they're actually 0-1. And Synergy were able to win last week and are currently up 1-0. So it's actually very interesting to see how they thought Leopard had a tougher time last week. But very, very cool team that we've actually got Leopard gamers like Thomas and A1Q. So really cool team that we've got there. But also a lot of really good survivors on our Synergy team. So we've got players like Halo and Burrito as well, who did a great job last week, by the way. Burrito was absolutely fantastic, especially in that Hillbilly game. So very excited to see what they can do today. But we will be looking into Plague on the Family Residence. So really excited to see what we can do here, and I hope to see some good gameplay.
Yeah, it's going to be probably our closest matchup we have for a while, as we do get a main spawn on Darren as well. So firstly, Burrito playing Plague. I'd say the average results on this is probably anywhere between 6 to 9, probably on the lower end. I'm going to be completely honest. The map is just really big. The def locations are pretty easy to make on this. They are on ping. I think that's one thing to notice as well. I think it is a OC to C lobby tonight, so keep that in mind. We do have a build of Ruin, Bamboozle, Pain Res, and Corrupt. So interesting to bring Bamboozle as his chase perk. I thought maybe bring Brutal would be a bit more favorable, but I don't know. Maybe main building he's a bit afraid of. But just trying to look for the cross bottom here, Stars. He does see scratch marks here on the 3 side, I believe. And I believe we'll resume our chase onto, I think this is the Neon.
Yeah, so you were saying about the perks that you just brought. He actually didn't bring Ruins because it's already gone. That was 10 seconds into the game, and unfortunately, Ruins already been found and been popped. Now, we don't really gain any benefit from that. It's not like we've kind of brought the Ruin pop combo where you can, okay, it goes to pop after Ruin. It's just gone. Goodbye, Ruin. So that's pretty unfortunate. Unfortunately, we're only down to 3 perks for the rest of this game. So we're going to have to really clutch up here. And that is going to be 2/3 of the Corrupt already gone. We will be vomiting on these mid-gens. This is a really easy decision because it's going to be a little bit hard to choke here. There isn't really too much space to play around, but we have found our first chase, Thomas, who will be taking the first M1. And of course, heading right into the Corrupt here. Let's see if we can get some vomit. We're probably going to see some vomit in the background as well as we see the survivor start to get on gens. And that is exactly what happens as we see A1Q begin the gen. And Thomas has gone for an insta-ball here and is working. And we will be seeing Thomas absolutely clutch up here unless we start to throw a bit. But no, we will be making around to this pallet here. And this is a solid first chase. Of course, we had to use Shack early, but this is kind of the exact start that you want, right? We're taking him all the way away from the gens, and we are getting a lot of value out of that. That was only one pallet drop. It was a really good one, but at the same time, that was at least a 30-second chase. I think Thomas did very, very well out of it.
Yeah, kind of a slow start. The bro actually has 2 perks now, Burrito, that is. So kind of a rough go. We have one bloke infected and then not really much else going for us. Of course, Thomas getting tagged and then left there. But he's just surveying, doing his rounds topside, looking for a probably more potential easier chase, I would assume. Doesn't really have too much. It looks like Leopard are playing super slow, which is a bit frightening if you're Thirsty Burrito. They haven't really given too many free tags or not really been caught out of position too much, not that I've seen. So yeah, they're playing it well on the Survivor side. Killer-wise, it might be starting time to panic. Maybe not just yet, but very shortly if we don't get a down happening soon.
Yeah, it does get to that stage very easily, where when you're playing an M1 killer, it starts to get really concerning that you're not really getting that ball rolling. But, you know, Plague's going to be one of those lower tier killers. I don't think Plague's going to really do that well this season, at least in terms of hook stages, which is absolutely fine. Some killers are just going to be like that. And speaking of, we find our Renato here in position very well. We'll be heading straight to Shack. I hope we've heard the comm that Shaq has been dropped. No, I'm sorry, this was A1Q, completely wrong person. I just saw the Shaq drop and the pallet drop, and I thought it was the infection. But we do see A1Q go down. That was a very, very quick chase, unfortunately. Our only infected survivor, actually, as we see, no score, does finally get infected in the background. And A1Q will be going onto this hook down near the 8 side. So this is going to put us a little bit more pressure in the mid. But I would assume that most of the generators, they're going to be getting pushed near the top side. So we're going to have to really head our way up there and hopefully get some pressure in. There are still 5 hooks on the map. I'm a little bit surprised we didn't go for that that power there. I think we might have a general indication, but the moment the survivors hear the power, we're going to have that problem of, oh, okay, now we need to mega stealth. We need to play very safe. And No Score is the only other one who's infected. So the fact that there's 2 people that can stealth very, very effectively right now is exactly what you need when you start to see those red pukes coming into the game, because then you can just stealth and it's absolutely fine. So
I would think triple split maybe is beneficial, Stasi here. I don't know if you had a gaze around, but he's hooked in the middle of those 2 red pools, obviously bringing duration with that amulet. So only having the 2 pools to work with, but the bro A10 here, or A1Q, is hooked up right in the middle, and he's grabbing it probably at an ideal time. No one is going to be able to rush in and save this now, so my suspicion is the bro's going to camp this out into the second stage, maybe go topside, pressure a few gens, come back. Does have another pool there. We do see a top gen pop, but I don't think he really gives 2 shits about the topside gens. He's got a juicy 4 bottom top here, and I think he's just waiting for the trade to come in. I don't think it's going to happen. Probably smart. I hope he goes and surveys after he hits seconds here, and well, we do see a bottom on pop. Does have a 3 gen bottom still, so not the biggest concern. Oh, we see 3 pop in the background, so there's no gen pressure. I think he'll just kick this, go back and probably camp out A1Q and then play the 3v1 from there, Stasi, I would assume.
This is absolutely fantastic from our survivors. Now, we still do have red for about half the duration, which will definitely cover the rest of A1Q. If we come in for this save, we are going to be throwing. We are going to be absolutely dropping 2 survivors for that. No, Thomas, don't come in for the save. He's too close. Wait, I can't hear the marks. I can't even hear the plague. They're nowhere nearby. And Thomas, this is huge. He gets it for free. And we have 4 survivors in the game. What are we doing? We're going for the M1. Onto No Score. Didn't even see what happened in the background there, but that is a huge pull by Thomas. That is exactly the communication that this team needs to keep alive. This is going to be huge. The fact that we camped that entire thing out, we had half of our pool gone, and now we've let that pool go through for free. This is a huge pull by Thomas. Massive shout out there, because that was very, very well played. And they're the exact type of comms that you need to pull in for that fast save. So you need to just play so actively, especially against a plague with power. If you're able to get in there, if you get that 10-second window, then you have to make so much use out of that, because you're not going to get that again. And the fact that he had red pull and walked away, I'm very, very surprised. I would not have expected Darren, or Brito, sorry. I wouldn't have expected Darren to leave that. It surprised me a lot. And we're using our other red pull as well. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're making a few tiny errors from what I can see. I would full-heartedly agree. I think, yeah, the bloke hooked on the 2 pools. I think we just camp out A10. I think you play 3v1 with what the best you've got. I think there was enough time for, I think it was about 40 seconds left on the hook stage. So sure, they get worth 40, but realistically, you're playing the game in a 3v1 at 1 gen minimum, really, which is, you know, probably the best result as a plague. It's an M1 killer, to be fair. So, yeah, I don't know. I think we've just thrown the game a bit away from doing that. I think the best play is probably just to commit his 4 freshers now and play for the best result, and we'll see if he does that. And oh, how do we jiggy that? That was insane. And we get hit over the pallet as well. So that's going to be Thomas going down at the 6 filler, and I think this is his 3rd fresh Stasi, so we'll see how he goes. I think he might have to just chase No Score, I believe is his last one, or maybe even Ivy. So if we can get that done and camp him out, it can still be pretty decent average, probably even above average result, depending on how things go out.
Yeah, you know, I think Thomas is actually having a pretty good game at this point. Unfortunately, couldn't make it over. I thought it was very close, but just that pull onto that onto A1Q for the end pool was huge. Right? The keeping 4 survivors alive, and we still have 4 survivors alive as well, which is a really big notice. We have 4 survivors still all causing havoc. The numerical advantage, of course, can't forget that. The 4v1 numerical advantage. There's only 1 killer and 4 survivors. So, but it is huge. That's the problem. It is huge, especially at this stage in the game when you've only got 1 generator left. And this is no surprise at all. A1Q has reset in the background. I bet if we're going to look, we're going to see all the way down top, we're going to see that pool, and that is exactly what we see. We see it at 11, and that is no surprise because this is so far away from our 3-gen. Our lowest in the 3-gen is at 9, but it does not matter because we see that 5 is completed, and that was very, very high gen pressure from our survivors, and this is why the tipping is suggested towards Leopard. They are absolutely clutching it right now. No Shack pallet available to us, but it doesn't matter because No Score will make that anyway, and we are going to see the Thomas reset in the background. No Score going to be taking this all the way towards the other side of the bottom of the map, and we're going to be using this seawall here. And I do believe that might have been alive, and we go for an interval here as well, and this is absolutely fine if we take that down, but we have no red power. That is the most important thing. We've reset, but there are no reds. Can we help No Score get out here? Do we see the other survivors? We're running past the pool here, though. This is going to be a really awkward moment. We're going to see the pool stop. This might buy us some time to get out, though, depending on where the gates are. There is 1 at 12. I think we're going to make this out because No Score is absolutely gunning it, and we've got survivors who are coming in for the body block as well. This is absolutely huge. Can we make this? No. We see the miss here. This is going to be unbelievably close, and we are out. All of the survivors will be out here. Unfortunately, we see it down. No, that is huge. We see Thomas goes down right at the exit gate, and he is gone. That is gone from a 4-stage to a 7-stage game. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a 6-stage. Thomas only went 2, but that has gone to a 6-stage game, and that is a really big difference in a Plague game because Plague is going to be low stages. Oh no! And you know what was interesting? We actually saw the heel tech almost come through, but unfortunately, the other survivor went down and also left. And I think Thomas was standing still for a little bit there, so it was unfortunate. A really, really unfortunate moment that happened there. But that was a crazy endgame. Burrito honestly got fed 2 stages there by Thomas. Unfortunately, Thomas was doing really well in the early game and was so close to getting out, but couldn't quite manage it. But hey, another great game. We will be back with you in just a few short minutes as we head into the next half of the Plague set, where Leopard will take over Killer. All right, welcome back everybody to Synergy vs Leopard, which will be our only set for tonight. Now, we do have the Synergy pick of Plague, and unfortunately, Burrito got a little bit clutched up on by our Survivor team. Wasn't really watching the hook stage as well. Unfortunately, let a free save go through, which was absolutely huge, but Thomas gave 2 stages at the end, unfortunately. So it was very, very close. Now, we did end with a 6-stage 3 fresh. Now, that doesn't sound all that impressive, but compared to a 4-stage, complete massive difference. Changes how you play the game completely. Those 2 stages are going to be absolutely vital, unless we get 4K, 4K1. That would be pretty rough, but we'll have to see how the survivors handle this situation. I'm very excited to see the Leopard killer come out. I actually wasn't watching, so I'm not sure who it is, but it will be very interesting to see who's the first chase. I'm excited. I'm hoping to see some Burrito or Halo gameplay here. They were very, very good last week, but I actually didn't look at which survivors are loading in, unfortunately, but you guys will be able to see it on your screen probably at the moment, so you might get a little bit of a. Okay, so it looks like we do have Kaz, Symmetry, Halo, and Darren. Okay, that could be an interesting mix. All right, maybe Burrito could go crazy here. Maybe we'll see some interesting gameplay from Kaz. But regardless, very excited to see what we can do as we load in with the Wretched Fate over the Ruin, which compared to the last game was definitely a good call. Oh, we have Eruption as well, of course, instead of Bamboozle.
An early chase as well, Starzy as well. We do have Wretched Fate, Eruption, the 2 clear differential perks there. Still running the Pain Race cropped, of course, as well. But first chase on the Symmetry down one side here. Yeah, 6-stage 3 first is what we're going to be dealing with. So have to exceed that. Have to get 5. Oh, we're going to vault into the killer as well. A bit unlucky to take that tag. I guess he makes cross distance to the other side. But I was just going to allude, Starzy. I don't think 6 6 sages, it's probably just maybe a bit below average. I think 7 to 8 probably is a bit more the vibe here, but no, we'll have to see if they can pull it off. Like I said, 5 fresh is all they really need, and we're gonna play the short side on this filler really early, and Symmetry wins the 50 on that one, and I don't know if he makes it back around, Stars. If he makes this will be huge. Let's make it back around. That is juicing right now, big fella. He makes the pallet gym too. Legendary chase is what we're gonna need. Oh, what's happened there? What's happened there?
I have to be completely honest. Watching this chase from an outside perspective, Symmetry made a lot of errors very quickly, and I think he got very, very lucky that he didn't go down at that original filler down bottom, that log filler. That was very lucky. Look, don't want to make anyone feel bad. Symmetry, lock in for the second chase. You can absolutely do it. Oh, maybe someone will take a hit. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, unfortunately, that just wasn't the go. I think it's because we might be playing on ping. I think Jumps that maybe he dropped it while he was right in the middle. Maybe he's used to that OCE ping. Then unfortunately, we dropped it a little bit too early, and then we dropped it on our side. So that is really unfortunate. Symmetry's put himself in a really tough position, and that honestly could have been a really good chase because the log filler wasn't broken. That was still there. We could have headed back down to it. Maybe if we saw the break from our Leopard killer. Maybe if we saw the break. So that would have been really exciting. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it. Hopefully, we're able to see... Oh, okay. Interesting gameplay. Hopefully, we're able to see Symmetry clutch up for the next chase. I really dislike this play here. I think this is way too early to be committing to that. I don't know how I feel about the play committing early. We see Burrito stealthing in. I think the call should have come... No, we should be leaving much earlier. If he needs to cross, that's fine. But we know that the killer is literally staring at them. And we also know what we're fighting for as well. If we get a 7 stage, we're going to secure that win. We need to absolutely start pumping out our gens. The fact that Halo is the only one working on a gen. Can we swap to Kaz? Okay, no, Kaz has got on a gen here. But where is the Kaz gen? Sorry, Spectator. Can we swap to Kaz here? Okay, so we got Halo down on 6, Kaz on 11 here. Okay, so we are starting to get some good gens, though. This is definitely going to break the 3 gen. And we're going to see Darren probably getting on 1 here as well. So let's just swap back to the killer to see whether we're still camping the... Oh, no, we're not. Looks like we're going to be moving away. We're going to be moving down towards 6.
He's coming back. I think he wants to... I don't know what he wants. He wants to chase top. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Stazzy. The only way they... I mean... Freya sort of threw by camping that hook, but they sort of threw on the Uno reverse by not sitting gens. I would fully agree with you. They are sitting gens now. They are getting the pressure. I'm surprised Freya's still just full camping this. If he or she commits to just the death here, I honestly don't know how I feel about that. Like, you'll have 1 dead, but I don't know. That means you kind of got to back. I don't know. It makes things a bit particular and scary. So honestly, we should probably be committing a... I don't know. Can we see where is the killer just sitting on the hook? No, we're committing to Halo bottom side. So Halo's coming in for the trade. So very interesting. I don't know if that's the play. It might be the play. It's a free hook stage. So it makes it 3 now. So we're down. We're slowly dwindling away. You know, the remaining, I guess you could say, stages before we get the loss. 6 stage 3 fresh at this point. It's still not doable. We just need some really good chases. And with the players on the team, it's possible. Again, though, we'll just have to see how... I'm interested to see how Freya approaches this next sort of bit, because if we camp it out again, which I don't think we will, but it might get a bit sticky.
Just a little bit sticky. Yeah, unfortunately that does happen quite a bit in Plague sets. Does get a little bit sticky. But we are going to see Kaz get back on that 70 gen Kaz sick now. So we actually are starting to get a lot of that passive pressure from the rolling infection. And it looks like Kaz is playing quite safe. I really hope we don't get on this pool here. But no, unfortunately Kaz is just playing very, very safe here. I think this is a little bit too conservative with how close that gen is. But it doesn't matter, because the seeing gameplay in the background, Halo will be able to escape here, at least momentarily. But no, we're going to go for Burrito here. Take the Scourge hook. We see Burrito does go down here, and that will be our Scourge hook coming through. We are going to pop them on the bottom, so we won't be protecting this unhook, but that's absolutely fine, because we're going to be making our way straight back towards the top side to get some pressure. And it looks like we do get a red pull as well. And honestly, I think this is an absolutely fine time to do it, because we need to absolutely gun our way back towards the top side, see if we can get some pressure, push the survivors off those gens. We are going to see Kaz finish that gen. I believe that's at 11. I'm really surprised that's not done. How's it not done? That was
I don't
70
know.
for a long time. Kaz is going a little bit too slow, and we are camping a really bad spot. We are going to be really loud here. Are we going to get found? Oh, he's checking lockers. It's going to be close. Are we going to come towards the 11 corner? We are. We find Kaz. We're still stealthing. Just go down 11 corner. Force the time. But no, we're going to go down closer to mid. This is going to be falling apart very quickly for the survivors. And this is only because we only need 7 stages. We don't need to have an exceptional game. We just need to have a decent one. And Freya is definitely heading towards that right now as we make our way towards 7 stages. But that is going to be, I believe, hook number 3. Darren still on hook. It was just Symmetry and Halo both still in the game, quite injured from their infection. But we will see. Halo, if we can swap around real quick, see what our survivors are doing. Darren goes second. Oh my god, they let Darren go second. Who got that? Oh no, it was Symmetry. Symmetry came in for the unhook too slow, and he went second. Oh, he was in such a safe spot. That's so unfortunate, because that is absolutely huge, and that is massive in terms of the win con. And that's going to be 6 stages. We're 1 away from losing. That could be the difference.
I'm actually not too sure what the stage is. I can't see on the spectator. It says 4 and sometimes it says 6. I'm not actually too sure what stages we're at here. I think we might be at 6. I'm not too sure. Regardless, I think the next down means the win for Freya, so I'm going to assume that for the time being. If that's wrong, I apologize. And I think this chase is going to end a little bit quickly than it should have. Oh, and we get hit through that as well, so I believe this is just going to be it, Stasi. I believe this is the set win to Leopard, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you're exactly right. And something to remember as well is this set was Leopard 1 in the tipping, but this is Synergy's pick. This is the pick they chose, and unfortunately, it just did not work out for them. And you know, it's hard to say whether there was one thing. Definitely on the kill side, I think Burrito not camping out that unhook onto A1Q. Definitely a mistake. Unfortunately for the survivor side, letting Darren go second, of course, that's not too great. But Symmetry's first chase, just need to be aware of that ping, and he would have done so well. He would have done so much better. Unfortunately, though, the ping diff, that's what it is sometimes. It can come down to the ping diff, and in that moment it did. But we do see our survivors working down in the background, and Halo gonna try and go for an absolutely juicy chase here. Unfortunately, we're not gonna make it work, but does go on the outside, so actually goes down in a pretty decent spot, all things considering, as we see the survivors rotate towards 11. That is going to be Burrito, who's going to step away from the danger zone there, but we will be taking the chase towards 9 as we try and escape and maybe buy some time to either get Kaz the final gen or to just completely finish the game. Now we do see Darren going down in the edge map. He was saying Darren, Burrito. Burrito going down in the edge map, and this is what Kaz should have done earlier. Buy a little bit of time, go down in the edge map. Sometimes it's better to have a little bit of a worse chase and just go down in the corner, because that's gonna buy a lot of time regardless. It's never fun to hook someone in the edge, but we do see Kaz stealthing all the way down at 4. Oh no, we're so far away from any of the action. And then it's going to be Halo dying here. And unfortunately, this is just game over. And as I did say, 4K1 earlier in the game, it looks like the premonition has come true. It is a 4K1.
Yeah, it's not the best result on Plague, all things considered. It's actually quite terrible. Yeah, so many things went wrong. I'm not sure how that 11 gen didn't pop earlier. The not sitting gens while the bro was camping. Look at this. They had the potential to I guess make this or, you know, provide the results that they needed to get under that 6. Again, the good thing is, I guess it's clear things that you can point out and early on in the season, because again, it is 5 games of group stages, I believe, including a bye, so you kind of need to win as many as you can. So yeah, I don't know, I think resetting the mental going into Blight might be the play. Obviously, definitely will be the play, but yes, so many things went wrong on the killer set and the survivor set for Synergy, and it's something that they'll have to look over and definitely, I would say, dwell on, but they'll have to consider, especially, you know, like I said, considering there is only 5 games, one of them being a bye, so they all count. They all really do count.
Well, it's actually only 4 games, including a bye. Well, I mean, it's a total of, yeah, it's 4 games plus a bye. But unfortunately, it matters even more, these losses, because you've only got 4 chances to get into the finals, right? Of course, Synergy already up 1, which is great. They've already secured a win. And there is room for error, because there are going to be 2 from each group who will be going straight through. But of course, what you want to start is you want to get seed 1. That way you're versing a seed 2 team, you put yourself into a better position in the finals. But you've also got the problem of, if you lose one, there's only 4 games. That's a huge loss. That will just take you out of seed 1 straight away, possibly. And we do see Halo actually does go down in the chase here. Had a pretty decent chase, but we actually do get the last gen done, as we're going to see Kaz pop it in the background to get a 4K0. Unless we get some stages out, that would be pretty nice. Fortunately, it is still a loss for Synergy here. But it's, as you said, these mistakes are pretty easy to point out. You can kind of see what went wrong, especially in the killer set. There's definitely some things that Burrito could have just changed a little bit and maybe kind of tweaked the game in his favor, forced the 3v1 earlier. The fact that we see a 4v1 for that long is just really concerning. Unfortunately, we do see Kaz tilting edge map again, but it doesn't matter because we get found anyway. We see that our Plague is just completely locked in here, basically loaned into Kaz like a homing missile, and will be taking them down like a torpedo on a destroyer. But we do see the down come through. So well played to our killer here. Very, very strong from the Leopard killer and very strong from the Leopard survivors. The thing is, if we're going to VOD review this game, then there's definitely some things that, you know, the survivors of Synergy, the killer of Synergy need to improve on. But I think it's pretty clear, so they'll be able to kind of work on those and hopefully do better in the next set that comes around. But regardless, we will be heading into the second set, which will be Blight, which will actually be the pick for Leopard, so they've got a good advantage going in. Might be a 2-0. We'll find out as we come back to you guys in just a few short minutes.
And welcome back to our second set of Synergy versus Leopard. We just saw a very interesting dynamic of games. A 4K1 and a 6-stage 3 for us on the Plague. Family Residence. First time we've seen Plague on Family Residence from my knowledge, so that was interesting to watch. We do have now Blight on Gas Haven, probably more, I don't want to say traditional, but a more familiar set. For a lot of people. Obviously, I've only seen it a few times, maybe in a community cup or 2, but yeah, this is the first time I think I've seen it in a while, Stasi. But the big thing that we were discussing in casters before was Babysitter being allowed on S tier sets now. I just wanted to know, on your personal opinion, how much does that impact the results that S tier killers should be getting?
Well, firstly, it was actually a 6-3 fish versus a 4K0, it wasn't a 4K1.
Sorry.
Fortunately, yeah, just they were able to pop that final gen. That was pretty good. I still did lose. So yeah, Babysitter's an absolutely massive perk. Look, I was scrimming with my team just earlier today on a Blight set. We do have a Blight set coming tomorrow, and Babysitter was absolutely massive value. Man, you pair that with something like Second Wind, you get so much insane value. It is a very good perk. Now we do see Halo taking the first chase of the game. If we're able to clutch up, we're already using 4 rushes here, so Thomas is kind of getting put on pressure, but Halo does take a hit, uses all 5 rushes, go towards 1 is going to be the death spot, and that is absolutely no surprise, because we are going to be doing gens now, 9, 6, and 5, I would assume, as we see the first chase leave, and we will continue the next chase onto our survivor, who is stealthing at the moment. We did see some scratch marks heading towards mid, but unfortunately looks like we've actually lost the survivor, so we're doing a very good job of stealthing here as we're able to step away, look towards Shaq, and we are going to get those comms. Halo should be getting reset relatively soon in the background, and hopefully we're able to get a little bit of clutch value here. And yeah, Halo is all the way at 1 still, isn't really able to do anything, but that's absolutely fine, being injured. And this is our Babysitter play. What an interesting build. Babysitter, Dead Hard, Botany, and Fast Track. I haven't seen a build quite like that. I'm not sure how I feel about Babysitter and Botany being together. You're probably not going to be resetting. I would assume that this is the trade build, so I would think that Halo would come in and not really have the time to be able to get a reset off. But hey man, hopefully their build's able to work out. Maybe they can win the set. That'd be pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we could get back to the kill. Thank you very much. I was just surveying as well. You have Wretched Fate Eruption again, pop as well on the Young Blight on Thomas. So pretty standard build. The crops run out as well. We've all been reset, so back to fresh with 3 perks, I guess you could say. I'm not sure who this is. We do see Halo at 1 here, so going to resume the chase on Halo from before, and the other 3, I guess, playing very well stealthiness-wise, and being able to just, I guess, force the chase onto what I'm assuming would be DS, because if this is DS, then this is really big and quite a good start from Synergy, as Halo does get M1 through the window. A very short, quick chase, double M1, a rush into an M1, but I would say if this is DS, this is quite a good start for them.
And it's not, because we saw that Halo was our dead hard build. Dead hard babysitter build. Now this is a problem, because we need our FTP player to rotate for this, because this is starting to fall apart. Actually, it's first talk. We could probably get away with not using FTP. But we do see the 6th gen is being quite highly progressive. We get a pop. We'll just check in and see what our survivors are doing, see where they're stealthing, and have a quick look at our survivor team. We'll just swap to the survivor team spectator to have a look at what they're doing. Okay, no, we won't. But we do find a survivor 11, and we will hopefully be able to get a little bit of a quick hit here. And that's exactly what we do, is we get our first hit onto December. Did use 5 rushes though, so December does have an option to get away here. We'll be able to hold W for a bit. Still got to regen those 2 rushes. Does have, oh, we've run to a really awkward pallet here. If December wins this, this will be absolutely hilarious and S tier worthy, but unfortunately December does go down, and there's really not much else to expect there. It is a little bit of a weak pallet, so no shout out to December, but we do see down come through, and we will go ahead and hook them near mid. Can we rotate and see what our survivors are doing? I'd love to see what build December is. December is our DS build. DS Unbreak, interesting. And we've rotated. So Symmetry is going to be our FTP player. FTP second win, very good combo there. And we've got Overcome as well. Overcome in the FTP build. Okay, very interesting.
Yeah, bunch of quirky builds to admit as well, Stasi. I'm not too sure what the gen pressure's looking like. I mean, it's not looking too bad. We have December on hook. He's the DS. As long as Burrito can probably make something happen here and not stealth and get found and somehow pull this back later, which I think he's going to, and I think Thomas is going to go back to look to secure this. So I think this is just free pressure from all 3 survivors, which could be huge. Considering that, you know, Delhi, Babysitter, all these things, even DS off the hook is going to be very, very tough for Thomas. So I don't know, we're on the 111 and the Shack, I believe, Stasi, with the bro hooked right in the middle, so I'd say it's not a bad spot to be in. Halo's got the dead hard up too. I'm optimistic for the back half of this game, I really am.
Yeah, to be honest, I would really like to see Halo rotating for this. We've got Wretched, and we've also got this Babysitter perk. We've got DH as well. I think Halo should be the person rotating it for this. Unfortunately, with Burrito getting chased in the background, we're going to be seeing... Oh no, we've actually gone for the trade. That's very interesting. We've gone for the trade onto Burrito. Oh, it looks like we're not going to chase anyway. I suppose Babysitter wouldn't get too much value then. But we do see Burrito does get hooked there. We do know that this is our Delhi player, Delhi SB. This is going to get some good value. And we see December going for hopefully a very... Oh no, December just gets hooked right at the end of that vault there. That's so unfortunate. But we know this is our DS. Can we hit it? We can. This is going to be huge. We do have Shack Pallet available to us. We do see the down onto 6. And we leave. And we go back to Darren instead, who will be in middle, I would assume still. No, we're headed all the way back towards main now. We do see Burrito. Oh, get shit off through the pallet. And that is so unfortunate, because that would have been a game-changing stun.
Yeah, now he's got the top hook on the active. I'm not sure what the other pressure's looking like. On the Wretched too as well, which is a bit how you going. We're going to see the reset onto Diddy down 6 here, and no one on gens. I guess I'm not too sure the gen pressure is. Deciding to leave after the DS Stasi as well was very interesting. Even more interesting that he was able to get it down at main. I'm not sure why the rotation didn't come in a lot earlier than that, but was it to see? Definitely evens out the game a bit now. Could honestly go either way at this point, bro. I'll be completely honest.
I'm thinking it's not looking good for us for survivors, because our only player who can do a quick reset, which is Symmetry, is the only one on a generator. Unless they're waiting to finish and then they're going to get Darren. But I don't know how I feel about this. This is the only player with FTP, and we're choosing not to rotate. We've got Renewal up. I would assume that the killer must just be sitting on the Survivor at this point if Symmetry isn't rotating earlier. Yeah, we're going to have to get someone else to get the pull. If they can get Burrito to reach Symmetry here, this is going to be huge. But no, we're running to main. Please tell me Symmetry's running to main. He is. We might see an FTP play here. We might see it come through. No, but we're not running to him. We have to get to Symmetry. No, don't get a free hit, please. We have to get to our teammate, but we're not going to see it happen. We're going to have to see something clutch here. And we don't. We're not able to see the FTP connection. And we're just going to see Symmetry resetting Halo in the background. No, this is so unfortunate because this is going to lead us into a 3v1 really earlier than it needed to be. And this is just really looking unfortunate for our survivors. We're down to 2 gens. We can fight for a 4k1, which is definitely good. Maybe we can get a 4k0, but at the moment, it's not looking... Oh, we're so slow. Oh, no.
Yeah, the rotations are coming in slow and a little jiggy there from Diddy Edge map. I don't know. I'm not too sure what the fast pull was. The fast deliverance was. I don't know. A few clinical mistakes again. But I'm gonna take that tag onto Diddy and leave. Thomas playing very well, applying his pops eruptions around the map, keeping the pressure up to everyone early on. This early on is pretty much what you need. Do you have a chase here? I believe this is Symmetry. I know he's someone injured, so I believe this is Halo. So I believe we do have the Dead Hard active, so hopefully he can make something with that happen. I do think he's running to the Def location, which is that one. So does have good gens, Thomas here. He has mid 9 and 11 there, Starzy. So very, very comfortable for him to just keep taking tags and leaving and playing in a very territorial way.
Yeah, I mean, the survivors have been generally pretty low on Generator, or pretty slow, I should say, on Generators pretty much this entire game, but we are going to be taking the next chase onto Symmetry here, hopefully trying to make up from the mistakes he made last game. We do get a nice drop into this middle here, so hopefully we can play a little bit clutch. Get a nice Volt here as well, which actually will get us to lead around Thomas. Trying to play around this a little bit too hard. We are going to see the break. We'll be able to make our way towards Shaq, but no, we actually go towards 6 here, which is absolutely fine. As we're going to see Thomas go for something a bit crazy, and he does down Symmetry with a very, very nice flick there. And we see a very strong pressure coming through as Eruption does proc in the background, and Thomas will be making their way towards mid, and we are doing nothing. We are sitting around. Where is Halo? I would like to see where Halo is right now, because we are playing a little bit too slow. Okay, we are stealthing. 15 sacks of fast track. Unfortunately, though, we aren't going to be able to use them because we aren't on a generator. And we're stealthing on the generator. Like,
what the fuck?
We D8. No, Halo! What are we doing? We're stealthing on the generator. And now Dead Hard's gone. And we're not going down. What is this game?
There's just no one doing anything. There's no motion in the ocean, as they say, Starzy. But, like, yeah, we're just, like, he's getting free chase and there's no blokes on gens for nothing. And, it's hard to really pinpoint the moment it got out of reach, for me at least. Up until maybe Burrito getting sniped at main cross map, 2 rushes. Yeah, no, you can definitely tell the vibes are down, and Thomas is playing really, really well. So I'll be completely honest, I wouldn't be shocked if he just 4K2s from here on out.
Yeah, unfortunately, this felt pretty avoidable for a while. You know, the first chase from Halo, he was actually able to escape with a 5 rush and, you know, was able to get towards 1 and played relatively well. Unfortunately, since then, pretty much we've just gone consistently downhill, and now we're sitting at this 4K2 mark, which seemed quite avoidable for a while. But, you know, you have to think as well, massive shout out to Thomas, who has been playing quite well. Did play Blight last week, unfortunately lost the set, but has come back. They picked Blight again, they believed in Thomas, and he's come through. A 4K2 is a really, really good result, and honestly, massive shout out if they're able to get it. These survivors are playing quite slow though. They've given him a lot of leeway for error, it feels like. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword from both sides, that maybe both sides have been playing a little bit too slow. But we do see Symmetry does start in the background. Oh, we'll be going for the trade. Oh, wow! We hit Symmetry right at the end. Unfortunately, don't get the down. And we'll see the down come through onto Symmetry. do get the unhook, but we see DJ December stealthing away here. Actually does get a little bit of a stealth. Does have live accessible as well. Won't give a free hit. Gets straight back on the gen. Very nice. Unfortunately, this is our Wretched Fate player who is basically getting nothing done, even though we're the ones sitting on the gen. I think it might have been better for Halo to actually sit the gen. Unfortunately, December, affected by Wretched, is playing very, very slowly, even if they're sitting on the gen this entire time. It feels like they've been here for such a long time, and they've done nothing.
Yeah, I mean, Diddy on this gen is really doing nothing right now. I'm not sure what Halo's doing. Halo's apparently in chase, so yeah, 4K2 probably a bit more realistic for the boys. Halo looping in front of hook as well, which is probably not what you need. Kind of need to sit on a gen, boys. I'll be completely honest. Kind of need to sit our ass on a gen, because not much is getting done. I don't know if you boys know how to progress the game, but you still have to pop all the 5 generators, and right now none of these are on them. So yeah, pretty unfortunate result from them. I'm going to be completely honest, Ozzy, but Thomas is playing well. He deserves all his credit. Well done, bro. You are playing really, really well and capitalizing on all the mistakes, which is clinical. And like, touch up on what you said, Stars, even to pick back-to-back weeks and, you know, come out and do this, it must be a good confidence boost for Thomas, bro. And like I said, bro, he deserves it. He's played really well. Even on Survivor today as well, he was playing fucking crazy. So, nah, well played, bro.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we did see him give those 2 stages, couldn't quite make it, but, oh, very nice by Thomas there, was able to just get the hit onto Halo. We'll be taking a free hook as well as Halo will be going on hooking. I was about to say we're going to walk away from that one. Halo will be dying here, unfortunately. This will turn the game into a 2v1. Can we get an insta down onto December, who's just left? That will be the question. I don't think we're going to see a 4K1 here unless December goes absolutely crazy. Come on, December. I want to see it, December. Go crazy. No, unfortunately, we can't make it work. Symmetry will be doing this last gen. It's probably going to be around 50 now, I would assume. Oh, can't even tell. He's walked away from it. And we do have Overcome, which won't be coming back to us, unfortunately. We're trying to stealth away, and we're actually successful. We're able to get away here. But it doesn't really matter because we have nowhere to go. We do see that December is down, and we're not really going to be able to much use out of it. December does get up in the background, though. Hopefully, we're able to head back, and maybe December will have an 80-second chase where we'll go crazy. Okay, and I'll continue going. So we do see December, who will be sitting on this gen. Symmetry will be the one who has to have an 80-second chase. If we're able to do this, this will be absolutely clutch, and we just might be able to make it work. Come on, we can sit on this pallet. No, Symmetry. Fuck. And unfortunately, we take the down. It comes through. Oh no, that's just absolutely not what you want to see. Unfortunately, Symmetry just couldn't clutch up when it was needed. And we do see December does get down and goes down as well. So this is going to be a 4K2 for our killer, which is extremely respectable result. Massive shout out to Thomas. But once again, quite a few survivors made quite a few errors, unfortunately. So they'll have to watch their game back and hopefully learn from their mistakes. Come back next week, come back strong, but maybe they won't have to come back next week. Maybe they'll be able to still win the set if their Blight comes in and gets a 4K3. It is possible. Or we could get a tie with a 4K2. Anything is possible in OSL. So make sure to stick around as we come back for the second half of our second set of our second week of OSL Season 3. Welcome back, everybody, to OSL Season 3, Week 2, Set 2, Half 2, as we head into this intense Blight game. We do have our killer from Synergy, Snags, going to come in and try to get a 4K3 win con, or a 4K2 Tycon, of course, which is acceptable. Will get us to the third set, which will be only on Dead Sands. So, would be very excited to see some of that. Unfortunately, we might not be seeing only tonight, as Snags has got a pretty difficult win con in front of him and a pretty stacked survivor team of Thomas and A1Q. So some very strong survivors, of course, and it's actually pretty much the same survivor team as last time. So I'm very, very excited to see what they can do. We've also got Ivy as well, so I'm really excited to see some Ivy gameplay. But we will be loading in. And to finish off our roster, of course, will be no score as well. So very, very similar to last time. As we see Snags does load in on the 7 side. Going to rotate towards 2. See if we can get a quick quick chase, sorry.
Yeah, loading in, spawning down deep 6. Obviously going to be spawning deep 1. Does see scratch marks as well, so gonna have to expect big things from the big man, Snagsy here. He's got the 4K2, and we do get a... Sorry, 4K2 for the tie, 4K3 for the win, and does get a tabby really, really early on there, and doesn't have his rushes off cooldown yet. Deciding to leave, taking the same approach Tomas took at the last game. Does find another survivor early on. Does convert on those rushes too, so that's 2 free tags as well from the big man, so hopefully he can perform something off this and hopefully get a good hook here and maybe get something going for himself, because yeah, 4K3 stars here is probably just, you know, it's hard. Oh my god, what's going on here? What the f...
Oh, Snags, that was not what you were meant to do. I mean, I'm not a killer main, but I'm pretty sure you're meant to kill the survivor. So I'm not sure about that one, unfortunately. But no, we do see Snags does drop the ball. Gets very lucky with that hit as well. That was very, very close. No score almost went a little bit crazy. Unfortunately, though, Ivy was hiding right around the corner, and we read him like a book. You know what? Although Snags was struggling, he's actually off to a very good start here, as we are putting a lot of pressure on the survivors. Ivy was just reset and now is back in chase, which means that the survivors are probably not have a lot of gen progress. A1Q or Thomas will be sitting on a gen, but no one else. And we see no score is immediately reset as well. The survivors are very fast on the resets. And oh no, Snags is starting to lose all the pressure. And no, we're leaving the chase as well. We're going back. As we see, the reset does come through the back of main. Thomas able to very quickly get the reset onto A1Q, and onto no score. Will continue the chase at the backside of main as we go for a little stealth here. Actually does end up working out, and this is exactly what you want. This is the Delhi player. This is huge. We've left the Delhi player and let them get reset. This is massive. If that was the first hook, that would have been huge for Snags. But the fact that we let them get away, and we've got 4 people that are full health by the time the first gen is done. Okay, we're gonna need to go crazy if we're gonna get a 4K3.
Yeah, he's gonna have to perform, Stasi. That's just all there is to it. I don't really know if it's possible from here on out without being, you know, unrealistic. Does not convert on that one. Almost converts on that rush around the pallet there. Yeah, I'm not sure why we didn't commit deep 1 there for that down on Delhi. Like you said, that could have been the start we needed. Yeah, gonna take this down onto Tomas, but I don't really know what it means at this point. I don't think they have much gen pressure, but like you said, everyone resets, so I'm assuming there'll be triple splitting and there will be pressure in the next 13, 14 seconds. Yeah, there you go. There's probably gonna pop in then, yeah, 20 seconds, and then there'll be another couple gens on the go. So yeah, I just don't see it being realistic. But we'll have to see if he can pull off, as you would say, Stasi, something, you know, crazy.
I mean, I would absolutely love to see it as well. Unfortunately, a 4K3 in this scenario is going to be really hard, considering that no score is almost done with a generator. And that will be the 4K3 at absolute best. So we do see that that mid-gen was pretty highly progressed as well at about 50. No score does finish, and that will push the second gen in the game. Hopefully we're able to rotate as well. If we can get some Delhi value, that would be super. But it seems like A1Q actually might be the one rotating. We do see no score heading towards 9. Definitely doesn't want to get caught, as the Delhi player does get on 10 though. So who is rotating? This is Ivy? I suppose Ivy is. Seems like they can't really change their mind on. Yeah, okay, we are going to see Ivy rotating. And this build's interesting for the rotate. I think we could have gotten Delhi to do it, but well, we'll see the survivors choose to. Are we going for the fast spot? We're going for the live. We'll be live and straight down to basement. And we just see the chase onto A1Q does occur in the background. That's going to be second win that pops off as well, as we see the chase head all the way down towards life.
Yeah, the DS trading right before seconds there, so he didn't hit second stage though, which is pretty important. Doesn't get hit through the pallet either, so Snags is back really against the wall now, and gonna have to start performing and getting downs about yesterday champion, so doesn't convert on those rushes either. So yeah, it's a bit rough, Tazi. It's a bit rough for the boys, I'll be honest.
Yeah, you know, Snags is a pretty well-renowned blight, to be honest. Usually I would say usually Snags plays better than this, at least based on what I've seen. He's not known for being the best player in the region, but he's known for being able to hold his own. And unfortunately, it's just not happening this game at all. We've got one hook, and there's 3 gens that are done. I mean, it's already Tycon. This is just... It's always rough when your survivors don't have a great game. It always puts you into a bit of a negative mindset. I need to play for a 4K3. I need to go absolutely crazy. And you know what as well? That start, there were 2 times where he had his survivor injured, 1 down, 1 injured. So he was playing very, very well early in the game. Unfortunately, he couldn't really convert that into a good mid-game because he couldn't actually transfer a down onto Ivy, which was absolutely huge because Ivy gave an M1 when he was almost at full sack, so he should have been able to convert that very quickly. Unfortunately, Ivy is just a little bit too crazy, and we couldn't keep up, but Thomas, 75 on the gen in the background, we just see No Score does get back. We are injured here, and No Score will be trying to go for a minion bolt here. Unfortunately, it does not end up working. Our Snags is right on top of us, and this is going to be the second hook, and oh no, we're actually heading back, seeing if we can stop the last gen from popping, but I think we are going to see Thomas either get very, very close or finish this just before he can reach us, and that is going to be the finish.
Yeah, GG's to Leopard 2-0 today on the day. Very well played from them. Great bounce back from last week after probably losing to the top dogs of the group, Resurrection, I'd say. So, you got to be very, very, very locked in when you verse those guys, or else you're just going to get absolutely stomped. As saw Gunther last week put on a showcase, sort of like what Tomas was doing to Synergy Survivors tonight, Stars. So, no, well played to the whole of Leopard. They really deserve the points tonight. This will push them into second as well on the ladder. So, with if like I said, 2 games in hand to go, Stasi, and with all of them counting, to make that top 2 to get into the final 8, it's going to be very, very, very tough from here on out for Synergy to make that jump.
No, you are exactly right. They are still 1-1. There still is definitely room for it. But the problem is that they're going to have to beat Resurrection, which is going to be very, very difficult. Unless Leopard drop a game to a different team, we might see it. It definitely could happen, but it's going to be pretty unlikely. So Leopard and Resurrection both looking in quite a good...
What?
Oh, wow. Okay, a medium vault from A1Q is not punished by Snags. But we do see the down come through anyway. That will be the last gen completed. No Adren in the background. I wonder whether Ivy was... Oh, no, we don't have Adren on the builds. Oh, fair enough, test here. So we do see Ivy slowly rotating for the unhook here as we get some pressure. And honestly, we can kind of do whatever we want at this point. This is 2 hooks at the end of the game. I mean, that's just... it's very... Oh, sorry, it's 3 actually, because No Score was hooked. So yeah, it's a very rough game for Snags. Snags usually does get a better result than that. I'd probably expect 7 from Snags against this team. Unfortunately, just quite wasn't able to make it work, which you can only try your best, and sometimes it's just not going to be your game. But we do see A1Q does go down in the background, and we will be leaving here. And yeah, it looks like we're going to be rotating down to see whether we can get some extra stages, get a little bit more money on the board. But our survivors are completely out here. What? So what is Thomas doing? All right, well, we're taking it down the mid.
Wait, he's been hooked already. What? It's not even Delhi.
It's not even Delhi. Yeah, it's Ivy. I think Ivy's Delhi.
I mean, Thomas giving up.
Oh no, it's No Score. It's No Score. Because he was stealthing it early game.
I see. I mean, we're just another free stage, I guess, for Snagsy here at the end of the game. Would have got the same if he picked up A10, so I'm not really sure what the value is. Maybe just can go back and hook and get an extra hooker. So yeah, I guess it's as you were alluding to, Stars, that 7. I think he'll probably get close to that. Maybe 6. I think he's going to end with here. So yeah, definitely trying to play around that win com was a bit tough for Snags. You could definitely tell the inexperience is a factor that you got to keep in mind as well. They are a relatively new team, new group of boys. Some of the boys been in the scene for a little bit, but I don't think they've ever played it more than before the season, up to the preparation leading up to the season. So no, it's always going to be tough when you verse these really experienced high-level C teams. As we see Snagsy here, just M1 galoring, and I believe he's going to get more than he needs here, and rushing there as well. When we're going to have 3 slugs in the end game here, and sort of just a GG's. Well played to everybody that played tonight, Stasi. But I believe the games we have tomorrow, if I pull up the amazing tipping section in our server. So, tomorrow we do have Bleed Out versus Renewal. We have Dark Lord on the Wrecker's Yard. We have Oni on Dead Sands, and then Dredge on the Midwich, of course. We do have that followed up by Sadness versus Echo with a Blight set on the Familiar Gas Heaven. Doctor, I believe, on Wretched Shop, if I'm not mistaken, and Unknown on Ormond Lake Mine. Followed by that, for our last game for Saturday, we do have Gospel and Clown Crew with a Blight set, Pig set, and Dredge set. So obviously Gas and a double Midwich there, Stasi. So honestly, some really good games lined up for us this week, big fella. And honestly, make sure you get your tips in IP. Make sure you use your channel points, Stasi. But I'll let you take us out, big fella.
Yeah, thank you very much. So we do see the 2-0 go towards Leopard. Massive shout out to Leopard. Did obviously start off with the 0-1, but they're able to come right back, and now they're at 50-50. So well done, boys. We are back at the 500 mark, as they say when you're 1-1. So massive shout out for them able to come back. Unfortunately, Synergy as well will be dropping down to 1-1 as well. So they're both now on the same. So both teams still definitely have a chance at the finals. It's just based around how they continue later in the tournament. So hopefully we're able to see some clutch games from both of them. But we will be finishing here. So thank you everybody for popping in. If you want to check out our Discord, I'm sure one of our lovely mods will go ahead and do a ! Discord and show us all the cool stuff that you can jump in on. We do have a couple of 1v1 events happen every now and then. There's a lot of teams as well. A lot of teams in this tournament. We've got 20 teams. So if you're looking for a team, now is the best time, because there are going to be a lot of people looking for a team at the moment. Still early in tournament, still time to play, and obviously get on the tier list that we're doing. So we're back to doing that again, back to doing the tier list. Very, very excited. But yeah, we'll go out here. Thank you very much everyone for popping in, and we'll see you tomorrow for the Saturday games. Thank you everyone for popping in. We'll see you tomorrow.